Welcome back to another episode of the Pain, Performance, and Pohada podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Nick Smith. I'm a licensed physical therapist and strength and conditioning coach for Jiu-Jitsu and other combat athletes. I have been working with athletes and coaching for almost 20 years now. A lot of time it's been more one-on-one. Obviously, I've had some, I do remote coaching. I do in-person sessions, obviously, with physical therapy. Been doing that for a long time. I've seen thousands of people, worked with thousands of different athletes. And in the last few years, I've really grown a love for doing seminars. And, traditionally in jiu-jitsu, as you know, seminars are kind of for, they're built around grapplers who maybe have a specific style or a specific technique that you've maybe, consumed their instructional. But you get to see it live, right? Like that person's teaching you that sequence. You go in for an hour or two. That high-level athlete that maybe you watch on TV, that you like, it's your favorite grappler, or they have a style that kind of compares well to yours. They go out, a bunch of people show up, and you work on that technique, and you learn from the person who does that well and executes it, hopefully distills it and teaches it well also. There's been a lot of cool opportunities for me to be able to do seminars for injury prevention, strength training, for jiu-jitsu and for, just combat sports in general. And it's kind of become a thing that I've really grown to love. And I think it's because I have an opportunity to truly showcase a glimpse, or at least a snapshot, of what proper combat sports sports rehab should look like for jiu-jitsu combat athletes in general. And it's really exciting to see. A lot of times the people who come in are banged up. If you've ever been to one of my seminars before, I send out, kind of like a little waiver just to kind of see who's interested beforehand. And it allows me to be able to identify, just certain things about those people. And then on top of that, like, is anybody injured? I want to know, is somebody banged up? Does somebody have a knee injury? Whatever. And, 9 times out of 10, somebody has an injury, right? So that injury that they have, it allows me to kind of identify who's hurt, to make sure, kind of keep an eye on them, make sure they don't get, beat up anymore. And with that opportunity, a lot of people have gone to maybe physical therapy before for maybe that injury or a previous one, and they all have preconceived notions about rehab. So it's a really cool opportunity to be able to almost interject yourself inside of the culture of a gym and be able to see who's motivated to want to improve this, because rehab's not sexy at all. Trust me, I know. A lot of times the rehab is like, hey, you need to do the basics really well. That's not sexy like a flying heel hook, I would way rather go to a seminar with a jiu-jitsu person who is going to teach me this dope-ass highlight reel submission or sequence that I really like, takedowns, Adam Orzinski's, butterfly sweep, something that's really practical. So when you're like, Dr. Nick is doing a rehab seminar on knee longevity, it's not sexy at all. And I'm aware of that. But there is a small group of people who have endured these injuries, and they're like, well, I would like to get some, information that would help me get better, hopefully, be able to kind of see. And the way I've kind of learned to structure the seminars is just give people a snapshot of what the process that goes down when I work with somebody one-on-one. They're able to see, hey, these are the milestones that I expect from you at range of motion. This is the milestone I expect from you from strength. This is the milestone I expect from you from, power. Here's the sport-specific tests that I like to do. Here's all these different drills that I want you to implement. And these are all the things I would want you to do before I even have you step back on the mats again. And you'd be befuddled to find out that a large majority of the people in attendance can't do those things. And at that point, the light bulb turns on, the aha moment, like, oh, I'm underprepared for this sport. And it's not to it's not to showcase people's faults, but to understand, like, I have a really high standard, and the standard for jiu-jitsu has to be high in order for you to be able to participate in this sport safely. So when you do the jiu-jitsu, excuse me, you're not shocked or surprised as to why you keep having pain, or why do you keep having this injury that keeps popping up every 3 months? Why is it when I'm resting my injury, my pain goes away, I go back to training, it still hurts? Like, being able to identify those things and break down common myths, cultures around injury in the sport, and start to kind of cast out this web of anti-bro science, pain is weakness leaving the body, David Goggins effort porn, Jocko Willink good, and kind of start to get people to think differently about how they approach the sport. And it's not to like sissify it or to say that the people before us weren't tough. They are tough, but like, you can be tough and still be practical. You can still be systematic. You can still be intelligent about your training while also respecting your injuries and how you treat your body. If you're going to participate in the sport, your body is the vehicle to be able to perform it. Why wouldn't you want it to be optimized at the best? Why wouldn't you want your joints to feel good? Why wouldn't you want your joints to be able to have their maximum capabilities in terms of mobility, strength, all those things? So when somebody gets to see that process live, and I get to see that aha moment, like, that's the best for me. That's what I look forward to, is like being able to see somebody be like, oh shit, I can't do this drill. This seems really easy, but I can't do it. Why is that? And then be able to kind of like piece those things together. Maybe that was the missing puzzle piece that they needed. Like, oh, so if I just worked on this, would this like get me in the right direction? Like, yeah, it would. And then it kind of sparks the conversation of like, what does that actually look like, right? And the seminars are a great opportunity to kind of give people a good foundation, a good blueprint, of like what the journey looks like. So there's not any more guessing, and to also be like, wow, this really changes my perspective or the narrative around, maybe my doctor who's told me to quit the sport. And you got this guy over here who's like, hey, this guy trains, he knows what I'm talking about when I say Delahiva, and he's telling me he wants me to train. He just wants me to able to do A, B, and C before I do it. That is more attractive than ignore, forget about it. It's, as long as it's not top of mind, it's okay. I'll just train on the other side, or I'll just, slap a brace on it. Or it's like, no. You're allowed to do all these things at 100%. And I'm encouraging you to do it, but I want you to be able to do these things too. If you can do these things, the likelihood of you training with pain, low. That's why I love seminars. I've been doing more of them lately. I actually just scheduled one with my home gym, which is awesome. It's the first time I've ever done that. And I'll be doing that in August. But I love getting to meet my athletes, and they take me to, like, if they're in the, the local SoCal region, I love when they introduce me to their coaches and to be able to like have an influence on their gym. There's other people who are beat up. If you're listening here, you could probably name 1 or 2 people that have an injury, right? And I want to be able to do more of those things. So if you're somebody who has listened to this podcast and I haven't come to your gym before, or maybe I have come to your gym before and you want me to come back, or if you happen to know somebody like, dude, my coach is really progressive with this stuff, my team would really benefit from having you, come out and do a seminar, I would love for you to reach out to me. I do these seminars for free. It's just my time, to be able to educate you guys, and hopefully I can, connect with you. And obviously, it's always nice if I end up getting to work with those people long term. But if you're somebody who is dealing with an issue, or know somebody at the gym that would benefit from this, and you would love to, have me come out, I'd love to talk to you. Show notes, you can always contact me. You can always just comment on whatever you see, YouTube, Instagram, email. But I'd love to connect with you, be able to meet up with your team, help serve the team, get everybody healthy, and more importantly for me, just to be able to get more in tune with what the community needs. because each time I do a seminar, I find out something new about you guys, and it allows me to kind of enhance the process, make it more specific to the needs of you guys. I can better serve you. More people are getting healthy. More people are training jiu-jitsu for a longer period of time. That's my mission, baby. Keep you guys on the mats, off the surgery tables. This is the way. Till next time, another episode of the Pain, Performance, and Pahada podcast. Thank you, guys. Remember, pain is not something you should fear, just something you should respect. See you.